Hey kids, Jeff Hawkins from Shake Them Ropes here, and for almost 15 years we have been part of Voices of Wrestling. Myself and Chris Novembrino give a review of that week's news, the lazy river of wrestling criticism of that week's WWE and AEW, and then Vader Club, where we watch something from one of our past, or something we may have missed. Smart, snarky, and sometimes serious, but not always. That's us, and if that's your vibe, we'd love to have you listen to Shake Them Ropes every week on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, I'm joined by David McDonald. It's Wednesday, 8th of October 2025. This is episode 382. Are we going to make it to 400 before we put a lid on this thing?
I don't know. It depends on how many weeks there are. I mean, I don't know if we want to jump right in. We want to warm up with questions or anything else. I'm at a loss. I'm not at a loss for words. That's the problem. I'm incredibly angry, and I'm incredibly disappointed, and I feel like, and I haven't really spoke to you about this, but I feel like we're on the same page when it comes to being at the end of our rope with this fucking promotion, who has done everything in their power to not only silence us and to ignore us when we are an olive branch in this. And there were a few that have been very kind to us. Kevin Kelly, absolutely. But there have been many others, Chris Charlton, who have been actively participants in ignoring and kind of hand-waving and making our lives a little bit more miserable than it should be. We have wrestlers that contact us all the time. We have people in the promotion that contact us all the time. We have ancillary people that contact us all the time. And I'm at the point where this promotion, and it's not just about me, but it's everyone. Because you can look at that last Cork and Hall show and the empty seats and the people walking out. We're at the end of our rope. We're at the end where you have such a great promotional tool, unpaid, with us and others, keeping it strong style, the former Okada shorts, all of them, who have expressed to me, Chris Sampson, we're done. We're at the end of the fucking rope. We have been patient. We have been generous with our time, our passion in the product. I can't do it anymore. I can't pretend that I have even a remote fucking interest in the dog shit that is being laid out. It's embarrassing. It's at the point where we have had conversations where Wrestle Kingdom review show is the last Super J-Cast. How does that feel? Many people would fucking throw confetti and fucking walk down the street like it's the greatest day ever. But there are a lot of people that feel that we are a bridge between the dog shit promotion that does everything in their fucking power to not be successful. And the fans that have paid money, time, interest. I think of a person like J. Michael, who writes fucking Shakespearean prose. Many words that, quite frankly, I don't even fucking understand. I need a thesaurus. But that dude will sit there and bang out just unbelievable articles. Chris Sampson will come together and make a website with partners to make G1 Climax interesting and fun. You have Keeping It Strong Style, who have reached out to me when they started and literally asked permission to do a podcast. And I was like, and this was when me and Colin were done and Joel wasn't in the picture yet. And of course, I was like, well, of course, do it. Yes. And look at them now. They're probably 200 and some odd shows strong. And there, you can hear it at the end of the rope. I think of all the people in my life that have come and have gone. Enough is enough. I've had it up to fucking here with the dog shit. 5 years. Don't give me COVID. Don't give me fucking COVID as an excuse anymore. You have shit the bed, New Japan Pro Wrestling, in incredible ways. Incredible ways. You could have had people in your corner. You could have had people on your side to get you through a little rough patch, but you're doing it to yourself. And the way that you treat talent and the way that you treat the wrestlers and the way that you treat the staff and the business as a whole, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and your chicken parm sandwich, as Richie Aprile would say. And as you get smashed over the head with a fucking coffee pot. Fuck you. Enough. I've had it up to here. I don't want to hear about Walker Stewart fucking needing money to get back to a fucking airport because you didn't pay him. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the fucking acting like you're like above the dog shit that you're producing. It's garbage. You've ruined since 1972. This is absolutely the worst this promotion has ever been. And they will tell you it's not, because look at Wrestle Kingdom and look at the ticket sales for Tanahashi. But when Tanahashi goes, then what? Then what? What are you going to do? I am so tired of swimming upstream, trying to enjoy a product that actively and proactively goes out of their way to spit not only in my face, in Joel's face, anyone listening on this stream, anyone listening after. Fuck you. I've had enough. How's that for an open, Joel?
It's probably one of the best we've ever done.
It's unbelievable. I can't. Again, they tried to make excuses. Oh, we haven't been here in months, and the IWGP champion isn't here, and neither is our G1 winner. And all I see are fucking empty orange seats. Empty orange seats. And then I go back in time and I watch this junior heavyweight championship match, which
look at the fans though, right? So that show was outdrawn by a show that was headlined by the Never Six-Man titles. There were fans getting out of their seats and
Yep.
leaving Korakuen Hall
Yep.
whilst they were still doing the in-ring post-match promos.
Yep.
I've never seen that before.
No. It's I don't know who has naked pictures of who, but I'm at the point where fuck Ghetto, fuck Kikuchi, fuck Yano. Enough. Fuck Bushi Road. Fuck them all. I feel so terrible for people, and we know a few, who have spent a lot of money to live out a dream, to go to Japan, see Wrestle Kingdom. I hate to break the bad news to them. You're 5 years too late. Because, and I would say as much, do everything else in Japan, what it has to offer. What a lovely country. What a week, 2 weeks you might have food, delicious. But that promotion is actively fucking you. Actively fucking you. And they have the gall at this point to have their hands in your wallet or purse or handbag if you're 60 years old. Really just trying to fucking nickel and dime you. They're trying. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. This is not like you're going to a concert or you're going to any other event. This is a promotion that is actively going out of their way to fuck you. I feel bad. I feel terrible. I feel terrible for those people that are investing their hard-earned money to experience the New Japan Pro Wrestling weekend. And they're just constantly delivered dog shit. And at the same time, they got their fucking fingers in your wallet.
It's got so bad that Damon wants to quit. New Japan Pro Wrestling's gone completely shit. What has your $10 subscription bought you? A knife-fight finish with House of Torture. It's a realization of all our fears. Ghetto has no good wrestling ideas.
Quite fitting in a way that the last Wrestle Kingdom I went to was 2020. Well, we were both there, weren't we?
Yep.
The double gold dash. And in many ways, that was the beginning of the end.
It really was.
And
It really was.
I will be there for Wrestle Kingdom 20, which will be the end of the end. Because I'm terrified, right? Because we both sat down and watched this El Desperado versus Doki main event, where we had this near historic reign for El Desperado. He was fairly close to breaking the record, wasn't he? Wasn't a million miles away. It was building and building and building. I wonder what it's going to come to. Is it going to be, handing the torch to one of the young up and comers like Kosei Fujita, or maybe like Francesco Akira, Master Wato? Who's it going to be? And then for them to do that, they think that's a good idea. If they think that's a good idea, what else do they think is good?
Right.
So the fact that they've done that is just, I'm shitting myself thinking, what do they possibly have up their sleeves for Wrestle Kingdom, where they might well have 40,000 people in the building? What fucking slop are they going to serve up then to all these, the lapsed fans, casual fans, people who are there just to see Tanahashi's retirement? Because I'm telling you, if they serve up anything like this, they are going to bomb. Absolute bomb. It's going to nosedive. It's going to go right off a cliff after January 4th. And they'll deserve it. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve the fans that are turning up, buying the tickets. They don't deserve the wrestlers. I've got wrestlers in the DMs complaining about this shit. They're fucking miserable. They don't want, warning us, saying, "Oh, you're not going to like what's coming up soon." Imagine that.
That's my favorite one. That is my favorite. Yes. Yeah. My favorite are active pro wrestlers getting into Joel's DMs and basically saying, well, you're fucked. I can't look. I'm shaking with rage. Shaking with rage. The fact that, again, this is not your favorite football team. This is not your favorite baseball team. This is not your favorite hockey team, where the bounce of the puck or the fucking bounce of the ball or whatever the case may be, sometimes, luck isn't on your side. I get that. This is something that they actively control. I cannot imagine the absolute fucking slop, as you described it, at Wrestle Kingdom. They have nothing planned.
I'm almost kind of excited and thrilled by the shit ideas that they've got up their sleeves. Like, what are they going to do in the main event? What are they going to do with the Fat Man Aaron Wolf? Like, there's so many things that they could conceivably just come up with a worst possible idea, which is what they've done several times, countless times over the last 5 years, that I'm almost excited to see how bad it's going to be.
Like, I'm truly at the point where if you think Aaron Wolf is the savior of this company, boy, are you in for a ride. Joe,
he cannot save them from themselves.
Nope. No, they can't.
The only way this kind of company's going to turn around, the whole lot of them need to go. All the people in charge of the book, anyone with any sort of influence over how the promotion is booked, has to go.
Has to go.
All of them.
Yep. I can't. Oh, my God.
Because I'm sure there are some good voices in the room who come up with good ideas and book good things. But the fact that they are allowing this shit to go through, to slip through the nets and not say, excuse me, what? I'm sorry, you want to do what with the junior heavyweight title? And I know it's only the junior heavyweight title, but it's just, that's like the canary down the mine, isn't it? That's indicative of the absolute contempt that they have for not only their own championships, but
for you,
the product writ large. And yes, you, the fan. That's what they think of you. Show bashing El Desperado in the head with a tray while the referee's going, oh, what's going on? That's what they think of you.
When you think back in your life and you think about, not that you would ever would, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway, pro wrestling podcasts, and you think of like the true, not the people who fucking think they are, not like busted open radio, those fuckfaces. Sorry, you're catching strays.
I've got them on the Patreon coming up.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Bubba Ray, you're catching strays. And Tommy Dreamer. I'm talking about real, legitimate, thought-provoking, insightful pro wrestling podcasts. There aren't that many. And you can start that conversation with the flagship of Voices of Wrestling, who inspired me to be like, I could do this. I did stuff for the Flyers. I mean, I'm familiar with the podcasting game. Early before every Tom, Dick, and Harry decided to have a fucking podcast. It was Rich and Joe. And they covered New Japan Pro Wrestling religiously. Every week. You could count on insightful, funny, witty, outside the box thinking on New Japan Pro Wrestling shows. And it didn't matter if it was big show, small show, in between. And that show inspired this. Sorry. You can tell you got a watered down version. And even them, Joe Lanza, Rich Craich, have had enough. They barely talk about him. And when they do talk about him, it's what's going on in CMLL? What's going on anywhere else? Like, they'll talk about fucking anything. They'll talk about pro wrestling in your fucking backyard before they are willing to sit there and talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Our friends over at We Work Stiff, who I think are on the side of generosity when it comes to analysing New Japan, not in good faith. I don't think they're doing it disingenuously. They love the product. They want to love the product. They've not recorded since the G1 final.
How about that?
What do you think that might be?
How about that? And trust me, New Japan love it. They love the idea of, oh, we got rid of one. At least we got rid of one. Because anything critical or anything, isn't towing the company line like they do with their monthly podcast, they don't want anything to do with. And that's fine, because we've made it without their help. Trust me, we've made it without their help. Because guess what? Half your fucking locker room hits up Joel in the DMs, bitching and moaning and spilling the fucking dirt on your shitty company. They've had enough.
Think of all the things that we haven't said.
Oh,
we haven't revealed on the podcast or in the demo.
Wait for that, because I'm angry now. My mind's a little cloudy with rage. When that podcast drops, you know that's going to be the last one. Because we might be running for our lives at that point. I don't think we'll be allowed back in Japan.
It's a witness protection.
Seriously. I ordered spaghetti and I got egg noodles and ketchup. That'll be us. Imagine that fucking show. Just imagine that show, New Japan Pro Wrestling, when we fucking drop that one. And here's the thing. This is not about, oh, you're not booking it the way we want. It's not it. It's not it. It's the fact that you are proactively going out of your way to deliver this as a product that quite obviously is not just a North American Western fan. Oh, you're not doing that. No. Look at the crowds. Look at the people. The people in the building. Look at your gates. Yes, you have a nice, big, fat Wrestle Kingdom where a lot of people who have a lot of disposable money are buying up seats. Good for you. But guess what? You got a lot. You got a long way to go to make up for what you have done. And I will say this. If you think that one match, and you can have a banger of a match, that heavyweight championship match should be great. But if you think you're going to make up all what you have done with one match, silly gooses. Silly gooses. Wrestle Kingdom review show, we're done. We're done. And then you have the biggest, loudest, most obnoxious voices silenced. And you got your wish. You got everything you wanted. And then you can run your fucking silly program however you want. And no one is going to hold your feet to the fire. No one is going to call you out. No one is going. Why? Because no one will give a single shit. Congratulations.
As a thought exercise, is there any way that Wrestle Kingdom could be booked well enough to turn the tide and change the course of opinion on this?
Yeah.
Coming up this Friday, I do have something lined up with me and friends of the show, great Chris Samsa and Jay Michael. We're going to be sitting around the table to fantasy book our own version of Wrestle Kingdom.
Wow.
In a way that could save New Japan Pro Wrestling. And make no mistake, the actual Wrestle Kingdom will bear no resemblance whatsoever to what we're coming up with. But just as a pure exercise in thinking, just looking at the talented, deep roster of wrestlers that they have, and how this product is way less than the sum of its parts, it would be so interesting for patrons and anyone else who can jump on board to hear what we come up with. And I guarantee what myself and J. Michael and Chris come up with is going to be 100 times better than what will be served up on January 4th. Because
No doubt.
they've got the talent to do some really exciting things. But they won't.
Nope. And the reason why we say they won't is because they've had over 5 years to kind of plan and do. And this is what you got. This is what you have. You have people running. Oh, I can't wait for this last show. Oh, Lordy Lou. Can I not wait to just fucking dime people out? I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
David's going nuclear. He's a ticking time bomb.
I swear to God. It's crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. You have people that have paid cash money to help you out of their own pocket to help you. And you hand wave them like they're dog shit. Your promotion is at the lowest it's been in all of my years of watching. Like, I feel as if it's like I have no interest in it. Zero. And I feel like I'm one of the last survivors. And it's like, you want me to pay for this? I'll tell you what. I'll get to the next 5 people who direct message you. I'll give you an invite to XWT so you can torrent every fucking show. Because I feel terrible of the fact that this fucking promotion charges money for anything. It's hilarious. Oh, and that last show. Oh boy, there are gonna be some people sweating in bed, just hoping. Ooh, I hope I slide under the radar on this one. Nope, you're fucked. You're fucked.
It was a really interesting segment that they had on the Voice of Wrestling flagship with Rich and J. Michael, just taking a big picture look at the company. And sometimes I feel we're so in the weeds with the weekly grind and focusing on things at such a micro level that we miss the chance to take a step back and think, oh, there's a lot of really bad stuff going on at the moment. And I thought Rich and J. Michael did a very good job identifying some of those things. And
but you can even hear Rich just be like just shoulder shrugging and and again, this is a guy who that fucking podcast was built largely off of New Japan Pro Wrestling and the interest in New Japan Pro Wrestling and growing a fan base. And they want nothing to do with this product that they're getting. They want nothing to do with it. I look forward to your the booking show. I really do. I look forward to it because that would give me like a glimmer of hope that, well, at least they could do something. They won't, but at least they could. And I just, all the people that you talk to, all the people that I talk to, and like you think I might be a little bit over the fucking line here on this show. Oh, you ain't heard nothing yet. You ain't heard nothing yet. And I'll go so far as to say this. I encourage pro wrestler working for New Japan Pro Wrestling to, as the kids would say, slide into our DMs. and let your grievances be known. By all means, you have a platform. It's us. You don't have a platform with your fucking company. You have a platform with us. By all means, reach out to us. Love to hear your story, your side of things. Because, quite frankly, your compadres and your peers don't got a lot of good things to say. They don't got a lot of good things to say.
I almost feel unpicking the match itself with Despy and Doki is just pointless. It's an exercise in futility. And I know I said in last week's show that I wanted the title off of El Desperado, and I wasn't enjoying him having all these 25 plus minute main events at Korakuen Hall, just totally detached from the big shows where it felt like it was the same layout for the match each time. And so they finally took the belt off him, and I'm like the Wario meme. I'm like, I've won, but at what cost? Yeah. Because honestly, I was bored through most of the match while they were doing all the legwork stuff. And then usually the segment of the match where it gets good and they start doing all the cool shit, then it was just all the House of Torture interference and shenanigans. So I was just like, this is absolute shite.
Yep.
What am I doing here? That's 17 minutes of my life I'll never get back. And just the absolute cack-handed way they've dealt with Doki since he got that terrible injury at Wrestle Kingdom, which should have been an absolute layup, an absolute open goal to have him making his comeback as a heroic babyface from that injury where, you know, his big moment at the Tokyo Dome was spoiled and he comes back and makes up for lost time and finally gets that big win. I have no words for how stupid and rubbish their booking of him has been. And I'm sure he hates it as well. I'm sure he's taking no pride and enjoyment in having to be part of this crap. And it's just a real strong signifier of everything that's wrong with the company, where they've taken something that seems so easy and so obvious to make something great, and they've managed to turn it into utter shit.
It is amazing, isn't it? And the fact that they've completely given up on the U.S. They've completely given up, as they should have, because of all the fucking ill will that they've caused with people and their product, and the half-hearted attempt at even running shows in the U.S. Wait till they announce Tanahashi's opponent. Do you honestly think that it will be anywhere near where it should be in terms of the hype matching the actuality of the situation? Because when it gets announced and you're like, oh, okay, don't say we didn't warn you. Look.
And we don't know anything. Let's be honest. I've not been told anything. They are keeping that and the Wrestle Kingdom main event very, very close to their chest.
Yeah.
And there's still a little bit of me that wants to hope and wants to believe and think, it could be someone great. But all my belief is gone. After watching that, again, if they think that's good, who knows what else they've got up their sleeve.
But not only that, Joel, the way that they've dragged this out, like, you're expecting Jesus Christ himself to rise from the grave, right? To walk, to do an Inoki on the cross, if you will. Even though Inoki stole the Jesus gimmick, we'll get the joke, get it? Yeah, there's no way that whoever they announce is going to match the drag out of this situation.
Who do you think it's going to be? Just let's have your prediction.
Who do I think it's going to be? Yeah. Darby Allin. I honestly think it's going to be an AEW wrestler. I would have loved to have seen a myriad of different people, but I think it'll be an AEW wrestler. And I'll go so far as to say I doubt it will be Okada, but we'll see.
I still want to believe it's Nakamura,
I do too.
but I don't have that faith anymore. I think
Well, let me put it this way:
heart says Nakamura, head says I don't know, Naito. I've no idea.
who would you want?
Nakamura. I think he would be the perfect name for me, like for the sort of the history and the pageantry. I mean, I would even have enjoyed like an all-star tag match. Like, I don't know if they did Tanahashi and Omega versus Okada and Naito, or like teaming up the Three Musketeers, Tanahashi and Nakamura and Shibata teaming up against, I don't know, the current Musketeers or some sort of all-star team. There's lots of interesting directions they could have got it, but I know it's going to be a singles match now. That's what Tanahashi said. But
Who do you think we're getting?
Okay, heart says Nakamura, head says Naito.
I lean more and more every day to Naito. I'll throw some names out. You give me a percentage of that you think it lands. Ibushi.
Oh God, 5%,
Kenny Omega.
30%,
Naito.
60%,
Nakamura.
40%. I know my
Okada.
percentages are not adding up here. But
That's all right. No, they don't have to. They don't have to. Okada.
Okada, 30%.
Okay. So far, Naito, Nakamura, is that worth the 7 million yen for ringside seats?
I was going to say like the money I'm paying for my seat.
Well,
but
yeah.
I'm not paying for it. The
Yeah,
patrons
no,
are
fuck
paying
it.
for it. So
There you go.
sorry, listeners, you've wasted your hard-earned money on my trip to Tokyo.
This is all a ruse to get you to Tokyo. Just FYI, that Patreon
I'm
is
not
shutting
even
down.
getting to the show, Damon. I'm not buying the ticket. I'm just
Right. January 5th, that Patreon shuts down. You'll want
you a restaurant booking for that day.
Oh yeah. That Patreon shuts down January 5th. You won't hear from us. We'll be toodaloo. Tickets are already paid for. That's done. All the kids, you pay for the kids to go.
Yeah, that's it. The kids going to Japan. That's what it's for.
Yeah, come on. All this entertainment you're getting. Yeah, at least we're honest. There's nothing they can announce that will. I mean, all right. Let's be funny. The Rock.
I'm not going to go 0. 5%.
5%. Okay.
5%. Yeah.
All right. Wouldn't it be great? Ba-ba-ba.
If they did right, I'm jumping straight onto YouTube. We're live streaming. We're so back. Japan is fixed.
We renewed our contract with Red Circle.
Yeah, thumbnail videos of us on the YouTube video with our faces like, oh,
shock. Fuck us. Well, look, it's been a good ride, right? No, look. The problem is that I have no faith. They've had 5 years in pro wrestling is a lifetime. It's a lifetime. They've had lots of time to figure this out. They haven't. They've given us no indication that they have figured it out. This is New Japan Pro Wrestling reality. Apparently somebody's making money. Apparently maybe a couple people are making money. Who knows? The promotion right now is at the lowest it's been. And I defy anyone to tell me a worse time. And you can give me Bob Sapp. You can give me Brock Lesnar. You can give me Kurt Angle. You can give me TNA being involved in Wrestle Kingdom. You can give me Jeff Jarrett. You can give me, should I continue? This is the worst. You can give me Inoki fucking shoot promoting and You can give me even earlier than that of Inoki fucking stealing money and funneling it into some fucking Brazilian petrol fucking whatever. You can give me Sayama exposing the business. You can whatever. This is the worst. We are at our worst. We are at our worst. And the problem is that back then you weren't necessarily exposed to a lot of it. So you would get information in drips and drabs, and you would get your videotapes, 6 months fucking behind schedule, and things wouldn't seem so bad. The problem is that this is all in real time, and you have fucking jerk-offs like us that are willing and able to every single week creating content. We're creating content when it comes to the absolute shambles that this fucking company is in. And let me stress, shambles is not a word I use fucking lightly.
And the frustrating thing is it could be good. And that there is good stuff. There is good stuff. There's great stuff. There was great stuff on this very show that we're discussing, the show that's made us lose faith in the company forever. Just the match preceding it was fucking brilliant. The Shota Uemura versus Yuta Ice match. Did you get a chance to watch that one?
I have, yes. Yep.
So that, to me, just makes it doubly frustrating seeing what followed it, because they've got all the tools there if they just let the wrestlers do what they're best at.
Mm-hmm.
It could be so simple and so good. So this was a 15-minute match. 50 minutes. That's all they had, Yuya and Yuto. And just an outstanding job from the wrestlers and the commentary team. Let's give them their flowers. Setting the table, the backstory between those two wrestlers. So the elbow injury that Yuto suffered at the hands of Yuya when he was making his debut match, making this into a grudge match. And New Japan doesn't do many grudge matches. They have rivalries, but they don't really have grudges that feel like grudges. This is exactly what guys like Yuya Uemura need. Like, this is not some friendly rivalry with another handsome boy who's happy to be here. But this felt like a fucking blood feud with a guy who hates your guts. And we've got this new generation of guys like Shota, Tsuji, Yuya, Oiwa, Fujita. I really think they've got a problem. This is a booking problem as well, but a problem with defining their gimmick. Like, what is the character? What is Heatstorm? What is Roughneck? What is the Grip? They're meaningless, right? They're vaguely cool-sounding words, right? But Yuto Ice, whatever you might think about the coolness of it, and I get it. It's cheesy to a Western fan, but it is fully formed and fully realized from day one, right? He knows exactly who he is, and he's not going to change, nor should he. He's the rough kid from the wrong side of the tracks, the guy with more balls than brains. He went down the wrong path in life, and he brings that charisma and energy in a really tangible sense that, to me, jumps off the screen, whether it's moments like smashing Yuya's head through a table with the bomber clatney. I looked up the word bomber clat. That means menstrual towel. Didn't know that before.
No!
Or the moment late in the match where he's jamming his thumb in Yuya's eye to escape a submission, or pulling his hair to avoid a move, spitting in his face out of defiance, right? That character, Yuto Ice, is fully realized with all those rough edges, very distinct to other sort of heel or heel-leading guys like Evil or David Finlay are doing. Yuto, he's a thug. He's a wrong 'un. We've all known a Yuto growing up.
Sure have.
We all know someone like that. And he's a wanker. But already, this early into the run, there's that bit of warmth from the fans who are embracing him, because deep down, everyone loves a rogue who plays by his own rules and doesn't take shit from anyone and doesn't know when he's beaten. And sure, he bent the rules in this match, but I think he also showed a ton of heart and courage. So already, there's quite a surprising amount of complexity and depth to this character, who could easily be hand-waved as this is just like prototype John Cena, wannabe gangster hip-hop guy. And sure, that's one element to it, but you could tell even after one singles match in front of Korakuen Hall, and this is a crowd. That's the heart of the New Japan fan base, right? They walked out through the post match promos with Doki and Despy because they don't know it's crap. But this is a crowd that's the light that shines onto the product, onto a wrestler, and shows what they're really made of. And these fans, they took one look at Yuto on this day, and they like what they see already. He's won them over, and I think that's in no small part due to his ability to take his opponent, is smiling, happy, often vacuous Yuya Uemura, taking Yuya to places he's never been before, to poke and prod his most vulnerable parts in the hope of eliciting some real genuine emotion. And look, if that was Yuya Uemura just acting and playing a part and projecting, then fair play to him. He did a hell of a job and showed a real range of emotion that we've not seen from him yet. But I just thought the finish was tremendous, where he's offered Yuto Ice a dignified way out. He's tried to get him to tap to the armbar Kimura, whatever he was doing the first time, and then Yuto spits in his face, and he's like, "Okay, fuck you then," and drops him with the deadbolt suplex, and then back straight into the Kimura again, and nearly rips his arm out of his socket, just showing a level of ruthlessness that we've never seen from Yuya Uemura before. And this match made me feel things. Like, it felt real. It felt raw in a way that none of the other pairings of the new generation have, and should be the launching point for a generational rivalry. But you never know with this company. It almost certainly won't be. So there's me sitting there thinking, this is so good. I'm loving this. The future of the company's bright. And then I've got to sit through Desperado versus Doki. So it's hard to separate my passion and love for this match, which I thought was genuinely brilliant, with what came after it. But I will try to compartmentalize it, and I thought this was excellent.
To invest in stocks to see Nakashima climb the mount. I took every single penny from our family bank account. I need to see my boy Yuto overcome adversity. So now master and author can't go to university. All we can afford to eat is plain boiled rice, because I spent all our money on stocks and Yuto Ice. Unemployment on the horizon, I'm about to get struck off. Good, let's get high. Bam, fuck off.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. And I think that we've said it a million times. No matter what taste, no matter what flavor, being authentic helps tremendously. And when you become whatever character it is that you are going to be or want to be, when that becomes a part of you, and not for nothing, how quickly it has become for good old Y Ice, it's refreshing. And people see that, and people find pro wrestling comfort in that, and they want to get behind that. But I will say this. This would be a mid-card in any other era of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And that is what is completely frustrating, is that we are talking like this guy is, not the second coming, but it is a absolute bright spot. But in the big picture, we would probably be like, yeah, this is good. You know what I mean? Like this would be, yep, solid. But
I'm
this,
a thirsty man in the desert, David.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what it is. It's, we are starving for crumbs, and we are saying, thank you, can I have another? And that's what's incredibly frustrating. Look, we've been through hell and high water from all of our stars getting lifted and going on to, we'll call them greener pastures. At least their bank account is being lined generously. We have a lot of talent on this roster. We absolutely do. Make no mistake about it. This is not a rant about the frustrations with talent. That isn't it. The frustration is with management. It is with the company. It is with the absolute brain dead decisions that they make. The fact that people are actively turning away from this product. And it is also a bit, and this has been bubbling for a while, the fact that at every opportunity when not only us, but people like us extend an olive branch to this secret kayfabe, let's keep kayfabe, let's keep our locker room silent. Your locker room's not silent. It talks to us all the fucking time. Sorry. And it's that treatment of disrespect that I've had enough with. And I think it boiled over with just knowing that I got to talk to my friend that I love and I love talking to, but I hate what we talk about. That's the problem. That is a massive fucking problem.
I also really liked the match that came before this, against Oscar.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good as well. So this is Shota winning 16 minutes with a second chapter. I thought it was a stylistic match that brought out the best in Shota, because I think he's always at his best when it's the kind of match with dudes throwing bombs, beating the crap out of each other. And one of those great matches where the structure of the match made both guys look great. I think it was better than any match Hikuleo has ever had in his career.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think that's a fair comparison point, given their similar stature. Already, Oscar has the monster energy, not that kind of monster energy, not the one that you drink, but the monster energy where everything he does, like the facial expressions, the roars and the screams when he's doing a move, that kind of exaggerated theatricality of what he does, playing to the back row, that wild and dangerous looking moveset that takes advantage of his height, where he's, ragdolling people, tossing them around. He can bump, he can sell, like him struggling to lock in the sleeper because his arm had been injured by Shota. He can strike with the kind of power and aggression that you'd expect from a monster. And him being presented as a heel means that he can showcase all of that stuff and dominate the match and not have to do like the Hikuleo or Oleg Boltin thing where you look like a monster, but you're getting a body part worked over and you have to be lying on the mat going, ow, my arm, my leg, and build to that comeback. I don't know if that's a trust thing or just as arbitrary as whether they decided that the face-heel positioning. But Oscar, he's 27. He could realistically have a good 10, 15-year run in him as, at worst, an upper mid-card monster heel, Yankoid promotion poaching notwithstanding. Honestly, the only thing I count as a negative for him at this point, and it's completely unfair, but it's his face. He's got a baby face. He needs a beard. He needs some bad boy tattoos, maybe a tan. Not Avatar The Last Airbender tattoos, but some proper hard man tattoos. But again, I've seen one singles match here, and he's already 90% of the way to being the monster heel that the company has lacked since Lance Archer left. So I thought he was really good here, and I thought Shota was great as well. I know it's very trendy to shit on him, but this is the kind of match where he looks good, and I thought he helped, led the match really well and helped accentuate Oscar's strengths. And it was like, fuck yeah, more of this, please.
Yeah. Look, I said it last week that maybe the most thing that gives me a little bit of juice is the heavyweight tag situation, which is crazy to say, but yeah, I'm kind of into it. I as you were talking, I was just thinking and listening to your words, but what was creeping into my head was Chris and Walker talking about Takeshita and talking about Zach and how they weren't there, and how Takeshita has this vision of pro wrestling, of it being, they basically saying, well, he has prior commitments, and so does Zach. He's going to be in China. And then, not for nothing, this show really wasn't that important. Right? And not so many words. I love the fact that we have a handful of guys, and I would lump them in to that handful of guys that truly feel like this could be an opportunity for them. You know, as much dooming as we're doing, there are wrestlers on that roster that A, can go, and B, might be able to, even with all the fucking things that are going against them, might be able to break out of that pack and be a little bit more. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by my hot neighbor across the street. She's come over on my sidewalk. She's fucking amazing. Wrestlers who can find a way to break out and stand out through this mud. That would be something. The problem is that all the positive things that you're saying, Joel, is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, and if you're listening to this, God bless you. Not many people are catching on, and not many people are watching the product to acknowledge the good stuff that's there with specifically those two.
And also the fact that if we're projecting what's going to happen with him in the future, I have a question from this. Roa says, they show Promise as a tag team, but if you had the book, how would you book the 2026 of the Knockout Brothers as single stars? I couldn't foresee them being stuck in an everlasting tag feud with like Evil and Sonada. That's probably what's happening in the future. Because I've no faith in the product right now.
Why would you?
At every turn they'll do the stupidest thing possible. But again, I'm going to try and put that aside for now and just celebrate and enjoy what I thought was a really exciting and encouraging pair of singles matches from Oscar and Utah. And I wasn't expecting much from them returning from Excursion, but I think they've really exceeded my expectations and they are getting some buzz. A lot of people are talking about them. So I think to their credit, they've got, in this period of time where everyone's down on the product, there've been a little shine, a little ray of light in the darkness.
Who else? Who else would you give a, hey, you know what? Through all the mud, you're starting to blossom. Who else would you give that to?
I'm still enjoying Daiki Nagai, and I'm excited to see where he goes. And
he's 4 foot tall, Joel.
When New Japan launched their minis division, he's going to be the stand-up for that. Because he had a match we showed to Umino. God, when was the show? I can't remember. It was the one before the Korakuen one.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
And he just went fucking wild. He was just like busting up Shota's face with these really stiff elbows. I was like, whoa, dude, just like take it easy, man. Like, but also at the same time, like, fuck yeah, do it more. So
right.
If we can sort of find that balance where he's not like busting open his colleagues hard way in meaningless undercard matches, but also can sort of channel that energy in a productive way. Like, I mean, if this is him on a meaningless match, just imagine what he'd be like on a big match where he's given a proper stage and a proper feud to build.
And he does seem to go a bit rogue on the backstage promos.
We need more people like that, David. We want more people going rogue. Less people smiling and happy and towing the company line and doing what they're told, and more people going mental and swearing and hitting other people in the face.
Okay, I'm down for that. But then you wind up with a situation and you have TJP going into business for himself and you have Callum Newman doing his thing and you have, you know what I mean? I'm going to...
that Callum Newman who did that promo at the end of the G1 saying, this is shit. United Empire's an absolute shambles.
Oh,
the things are going to... And we've not seen him since.
Not only have we not seen him since, has anyone even mentioned the term United Kingdom in any way, shape, or form? It's crazy. You know, here's what I want. I want one voice, one direction, one person saying, "Nah, that's not going to fly," because, I would say, you would be hard pressed to find me any era in any way in professional wrestling where booking by committee worked. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone wants to get over what they want to get over. Everyone has their idea of what would be best for a company, which
Well, it
is
just feels like they're just trying to keep everyone happy. They just don't want to piss anyone off.
that's what it feels like.
Where's the booking gone? Where it's like, sorry, I know you think you're the top guy, or you think it's your turn.
You're not.
But you're staring at the lights. You're putting over this guy who's 10 years younger than you. If you
Yep.
don't like it, piss off.
Yep.
Where's that energy gone?
I don't know. And the problem is that they don't have one. And from everything that has been explained to us is that there are so many fucking voices. And yes, people will tell me that, yep, everything will funnel through Ghetto. Okay. I find that a little bit difficult to believe, but okay, let's just take that for what it's worth.
Where's the value in that? If Ghetto's
Thank you.
threatening to quit every 3 months and
Right.
telling people, telling the dirt sheets that is a dead man walking and he can't wait to leave the company.
Right. And not for nothing, like during the Michael Craven years and during the who was in charge post Michael Craven, post oh god, I'm having a mind fart.
Harold May.
Yeah, post May. There was a lot of fucking, again, I'll use the term swimming upstream, but he found a way to make things work. Like, I don't think there's any, I don't think it's a stretch to say that the idea of him, like, I remember having conversations with people in New Japan Pro Wrestling where they literally said, we fucking celebrated when Michael Craven got let go. Three people celebrating when they got word. And the reason being is Ghetto felt like these fucking people have no idea what makes for good pro wrestling, right? And then we get wind of the Kikuchi stuff, right? And the idea of this outsider, this guy who has no affiliation with pro wrestling, but is a civilian. And I say that like he works in the fucking Marine Corps. And he has these ideas and fresh perspectives, and he's able to book out these things. And he had an ear, and people were listening to him. And the big picture was Kikuchi. But everything's still funneled through Ghetto, right? And Yano would have a voice, still fun. Like, I feel like those days are completely fucking gone. Those days are gone. And if he still has that stroke, boy, oh boy, he has some really weird people that are in his ear. Now, all the people that I mentioned are still with the company, right? They're all still there. So the only logical conclusion one might be able to come up with is either A, the people who were once creative are now creatively bankrupt, or B, the people who were once super creative are handcuffed. I tend to go with and I am pretty infamous for saying bookers have a shelf life. There's only so much you can squeeze from that fucking lemon. They have a shelf life. Do you really think, in your heart of hearts, listener, Joel, anyone else, that Ghetto all of a sudden has this creative fucking bankruptcy occurring? I find it hard to believe. It's a muddled mess. There isn't a distinct leader. There isn't a singular voice to say, hey, that idea, absolute fucking rubbish. That idea, maybe we can work with it. That idea, great. And it filters through. Everything is going through. And when the lunatics run the asylum, Joel, this is the end result. And you can see that through the history of professional wrestling. Anytime that there is a committee, or at the very least, not a final voice that, no, we're not fucking doing that. Yep, we can do that. Or we're going in this way. Anytime that there's not that, this is the end result. It's not like we haven't seen it a trillion times before. And that's, to me, feels like when we talk about the rudderless ship, that's what we talk about. And sometimes when the lunatics run the asylum, you get TNA or you get, WCW in the 90s. It's not a good scenario. It's really not a good scenario. You need a leader. You need a voice. You need a clear direction. Now, that might piss off some workers. That might piss off some people to say, I don't want to. I'd rather make some people a little bit angry and have a clear direction instead of this wishy-washy, let's put a smile on everyone's face, let's make everyone happy, let's underpay everyone, and let's just see if we can trudge along and pop a big house at the Tokyo Dome come January 4th. That's where I feel like this company is right now. And here's the thing, too. We know a lot of people who work for that company. And they put food on their table working for that company. We know a lot. And I feel somewhat bad laying the boots to this company because and it's not directed to them. But unfortunately, we who do not get paid by New Japan Pro Wrestling I wouldn't be able to fucking sleep at night if this show didn't occur. Because I feel like people can sense when Damon is not 100% genuine. And you may agree with me. You may disagree with me. You may fucking hate me. You may love me. But at least I know in my heart that when I press stop on this fucking show, I'm giving you the honest to God truth as I know it. And that'll never change. And when I feel like that does change, that's when I have a problem. So, in closing, we need one voice. And dare I say, we need a new voice. Because right now, I have no confidence in this company whatsoever. And to make matters worse, I have no interest in this company whatsoever.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. Crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan. $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Now, funnily enough, David, as we've been talking, my friend Sam has texted me saying he's in Tokyo next week.
Yeah.
His hotel is literally next to Sumo Hall.
Nice.
And so he's asking what's the buzz about King of Pro Wrestling? The tickets are available. So he's decided whether or not to go. So I've sent him the link and I said, perfect timing. Tune in right now and we're going to preview the show. So let's get on to it.
Yeah, do it.
We've got King of Pro Wrestling. This is coming up Monday, October 13th. Ryogoku Sumo Hall. a lot of work to be done. The show's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting to turn things around because they've really been dragging their feet on doing any of the stuff that needed to be done to set the table for Wrestle Kingdom. But it's got to happen on this show. Or at least some of it's going to happen on this show. So let's get into it. First match. Titan, Hiromu, Shingo against Clark Connors, Taiji Ishimori, David Finlay. On paper, really good, right? That's 6 quality wrestlers there.
There are. Yep.
I don't know what it means in terms of outcome and booking. It's good to see Titan back. He's excellent. He's underutilized. Perhaps this is a signifier that Titan and Hiromu will be joining forces for the Super Junior Tag League. Perhaps it means the same on the other side, that Clark and Ishimori are going to be tagging together, and maybe those could be 2 teams vying for the top of the blocks in that tournament, however it's set up. I'm curious to see what the direction is for Shingo and Finlay, particularly Finlay, who, like I said, I think is one of the best wrestlers in the company, but hasn't been given much to shout about this year. New Japan Cup would notwithstanding. But I would really love to see something interesting set up for him for Wrestle Kingdom. And I don't know what that could be. I don't know what division, what title, who knows. But I think he deserves something just because he's been really outstanding this year, but without getting his flowers.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I would love 10-minute conversation with David Finlay. I would love that. I would love to know what's in that guy's mind right now. Joel, do you think that, and again, I agree, this match has tons of talent. Absolutely. Factions that are somewhat there, kind of, sort of. Do you think this match builds more for World Tag League or Wrestle Kingdom?
I'd like to think Wrestle Kingdom, because those are some pretty big players, I would say. You know, you think of guys like Finlay and Hiromu, who were featured really prominently in last year's Wrestle Kingdom. You know, maybe this is the point at which Naito makes his return. If he is making his return. I mean, this could be a spot because it's 3 of his former quasi-stablemates here with this ridiculous unaffiliated thing, but they are kind of affiliated, but they're not. So, I don't know. Again, I don't want to put the clown makeup on and do this thing of previewing King of Pro Wrestling where I'm looking at every single match and saying, well, this person's in this match, so it could mean this is happening, and they set up an angle doing this. Right, probably this match is going to go about 8 minutes and someone's going to get pinned and nothing's going to happen and we'll never think about it or talk about it again. Right. But with this kind of empty space, there lies infinite promise about what could be. And the fact that there's some big names in here means there's a non-zero chance that they set up something for the future, whether it is as minor as the Super Junior Tag League or if it's possibly sowing seeds for what Shingo is doing for Wrestle Kingdom or Finlay's doing for Wrestle Kingdom or more than that. Who knows? And I'm just happy to exist in this space where we don't know yet. New Japan have not crushed our hopes and dreams yet. So in this place of hope and uncertainty, stuff could happen. It won't, but it could.
It could. And if there was a glimmer of hope of Naito returning, you would think this would be a really good way to not only do that, start the show off hot, and you know, maybe. Now again, we are fantasy booking to the extreme, but yeah, I think I find it amazing that we're sitting here in October and we really don't have anything planned for any of these guys, you know, Shingo included. You would think something would come of it. My fear is that this is more Tag League focused as opposed to Wrestle Kingdom focused.
Second match, a singles match between Drilla Maloney and Sanada. So they've been beefing on the undercards.
Over what, shoes?
Drilla has been, with his Sanada with his silly Astro Boy, big red welly boots.
40 years old.
You cannot make me get excited about anything Sonata related. I won't do it. It's not possible. I think Driller's had a pretty good year. He looked good in the G1, and if this match is going to have any kind of energy or urgency or intensity to it, it's going to be brought by Driller. So I hope this is a launching point for him to get a big singles win and maybe go on to do something. I don't know what, but that seems to be his trajectory. But who knows what fucking mess this could end up as, because anything that's House of Torture adjacent is equally likely to go down the shitter very quickly and turn into something that I have zero interest in. So my heart says Driller wins and launches something of interest. Maybe hold on a second. Is that maybe he challenges Evil later on in the show. Like, let's say Evil beats Oleg Boltin. That might be interesting. Who knows? But equally likely, Sonata hits him over the head with a guitar and wins, and we go back into our little burrows of depression.
Well, here's the good news. The good news is that something should happen, in the sense of singles match. You would think early in the card means whoever's winning is getting a shot at something. Now, I think it is a 50-50 shot at this point. If it's Drilla, if it's Sonata. Like, they could very easily be like, okay, Sonata gets to win, challenges for the fucking Never, or challenges for the TV belt, or challenges for something. The winner's challenging somebody for something. Let's put it that way. I am not going to sit here and tell you I would be shocked if Sonata is that winner.
Yeah, Sonata winning and then challenging Oleg. Like, let's say Oleg retains against Evil.
Right.
I could easily see that happening.
Yep, no doubt. I mean, I'm not saying that is. I'm saying don't be surprised.
Third match, we got Hiroki Goto's return. So Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto against Kosei Fujita, Hartley Jackson, and Yohei Oiwa. So Goto is back from his time recording the Street Fighter movie where he's playing the role of E Honda. I was hoping that he had to like massively bulk up for that, like doing Aaron Wolf and just get extremely fat to play the role of a sumo wrestler. So I hope that is the case. I hope when he comes back, he's just like looks
bloated,
like Ryota Hammer. But he was the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He was arguably like the biggest star in the company earlier in the year, and then lost the title to Zack in an excellent match at Tanahashi Jam, and we've not seen him since. He wasn't in the G1 Climax, so this should be a pretty big deal, because Goto was one of the push commodities in the company. So I'm assuming his team win, and I'm curious to see what they do with him going forward, because again, there's a not insignificant chance that he goes straight back in to the world title picture. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if, let's say, Zack Sabre Jr. retains his title in the main event, that Goto comes out afterwards and says, I want a rematch or whatever. I wouldn't be shocked to see Goto somehow end up in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom. I wouldn't necessarily be against that either, I think, given...
Really?
Yeah.
You honestly are going to sit in the Tokyo Dome and have Hiroki Goto in your main event?
It's not what I want, but I could see it happening.
That's insanity if they did that. Look, this is a company where I'm not even 100% confident that Hiroki Goto gets the win. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even 100% confident that a guy coming on a major motion picture is going to get a win in this match. So, look, anything's possible, but boy, oh boy, I would...
It's going to be in a big Hollywood movie. Like, there's going to be eyeballs on that, and I think it would be daft not... Like, if they just sort of bury him back in the undercard and have him, teaming up with Yoshihashi again doing tag stuff... that would be a bizarre waste of the buzz and attention from the Street Fighter. Well, I don't know when the Street Fighter film's coming out, to be fair, so I might be talking out of my arse.
I mean, but like, let's pause for a second. the two biggest things that we have excitement, three biggest things, are Knockout Brothers, the possibility of Naito returning, and Hiroki Goto. Sorry, I'm dooming it. I'm dooming it.
It's enough of that, David. No more doom.
My bad. No more doom.
Well, do you think Goto should have something for Wrestle Kingdom? Something significant?
Before intermission significant?
Well, okay, I'm giving you the book. Where do you put Goto on that card?
He should challenge for a minor singles title.
How minor are we thinking? Like TV title minor?
TV title, never. In that realm. Now, you could also kill two birds with one stone and have the return of Goto and Yoshihashi. I would not be surprised to see that them challenge whomever might walk into Wrestle Kingdom with those straps. You also have the prestigious Strong title, Joel. I don't know if you're aware. That is still a thing. We could challenge for that.
Who's the strong champion, David?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Who's the strong champion?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. It's must be Zencaster again. I can't make out what you're saying. You said something about Strong, and then I heard title. I don't know if that's a real. I think you're just making things up. But it must be a bad connection on Zencaster. We'll have Dan edit that.
Edit to Dan. We'll tidy that up later. Don't worry about it.
Clean it up, please, in post. Yeah. Thank you. Who is the champion? Ishii, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Fuck me. All right. Look at me go.
Right. Fourth match, 50-minute time limit, NJPW World TV Championship / ELP 20th anniversary / Hiroshi Tanahashi Final Road Connection. So this is Tanahashi's final match at Sumo Hall.
Unbelievable.
Against El Phantasmo.
What are we doing?
Nice little wrestler, company man. A lot of good backstage. Everyone likes him. Good for morale. What?
What are we doing? What are we doing? Are you kidding me? Yeah. I want you to. I want this to digest a little bit. It's Hiroshi Tanahashi's last singles match in Ryogoku Sumo Hall, a building that he has helped put on the map when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling fans. A building that New Japan Pro Wrestling was banned at one time from performing shows, and Hiroshi Tanahashi being able to lift New Japan Pro Wrestling and allow them. Again, I'm not saying he was the sole person responsible for allowing them back in. That would be preposterous. But again, you think back to all the matches throughout his career. And again, no disrespect to ELP, but ELP is his final opponent. Does that give you any moment of pause for Wrestle Kingdom and the main event, Joel Abraham?
What do you mean? Elaborate, please.
Well, sure. We're going to go ELP as his final match at Sumo Hall. Again, a building that very famous, an important building, dare I say, for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Does that give you any reason to pause and worry of the idea of a main event, maybe not main event, but final match, we'll call it. They're calling it that. We're going to call it that. At the Tokyo Dome.
So you mean they've picked such an underwhelming opponent for the final singles match at Sumo Hall that it's going to be someone equally underwhelming for Tokyo Dome?
Exactly.
Yeah, the range of outcomes for Tanahashi's final opponent it's all over the place. Like, it could be anyone. It could be
anyone.
Yeah.
I say it's Yuji Nagata. Oh, fuck me.
I mean, this is just, I'm assuming, like, quote unquote, I'm doing like really exaggerated finger movements here to do the quotation marks. Feel good match with two good guys that the fans all love. That's just like a happy moment. And I don't know, maybe this is like a little sign of appreciation for El Phantasmo, whatever value he's brought to the company. I can't think of
We're
what else they
celebrating
would have
20
given
years.
such a huge
Yeah, we're
spot
celebrating
for him.
20 years.
But
20 years of ELP, right? Yep. I'm telling you right now, there are people in his immediate family that have no idea he's been in wrestling for 20 years.
I know, like months ago, you were like, "Oh, they've dropped the ball on El Phantasmo. They should have pushed him. He should have been a top guy. What are we doing?" And now you're burying the guy.
I'm not burying
I
him.
love it.
I'm just saying it is preposterous for this to be the final match at Sumo Hall for Hiroshi Tanahashi. It's
Well, no,
ludicrous.
that's this podcast motto for New Japan Analysis in 2025. There's no way that X can happen. And the next week, X happened.
X happened. Oh boy! All right, so look, I think we. Well, I mean, if Hiroshi Tanahashi wins, he would be the new television champion, mind you. The prestigious gold wrapped around his waist that he would have to defend. Do you see that happen? Do you see him taking the gold in his final Sumo Hall match?
I don't care.
I'm going to say he does. I'm going to say he wins it. He wins the title from ELP, and he has to defend it for a few months, which he really won't have to because he'll be in World Tag League. He'll be in Noah's tournament.
Damon, he'll be defending that fucking belt on every single show. You know what he's like.
I do know. And don't worry. And listen, everyone, don't worry. He'll be back in a year. He'll be a special guest. You know what I mean? That retirement ceremony. Come on, take it with a grain of salt.
When New Japan works Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia, then he'll be back.
That's right. Yeah, when they was working the Etihad Stadium in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that'd be lovely. All right, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's winning that. He's winning the 20 pounds of gold, that prestigious New Japan Pro Wrestling TV title.
Fifth match is the Never Openweight Championship where Oleg Boltin is defending against Evil. Now, normally I'd hand wave this and say everything House of Torture adjacent is bad and will be bad, but we are doing the Evil redemption story. That is happening. That's locked in. We are fans of it. We have been flying the flag for it since the G1 climax.
Yeah,
and it's got to start somewhere, Damon. So why not here? I don't know how it happens. I don't know what form it takes, but it's been acknowledged by Tokyo Sports. That means it is happening, and the only question is when. So maybe we get that ball rolling today. Or not today, but on this show. And it could be a case of him winning this title using his most dastardly heel tactics and shenanigans to then set up the table for him losing it, maybe at the Tokyo Dome in heartbreaking fashion. And like, who knows? Again, infinite possibilities, Damon. But it is happening, and we're all in favour of it. We ended the podcast a couple of months ago. Evil. So that saviour of the company. Something's got to happen, surely.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't see how it happens here. To be honest, I love the idea of him being the savior. I love the idea of him being a guy that the fans can rally behind, and he found he's making up for his, pardon the pun, evil ways. I can't. I'm really trying to fantasy book this in my fucking head. I got nothing aside from an interference fucking screw job. He wins the belt. That's honestly, that's the best I can come up with.
I can't. I usually think I'm usually the optimist here, and when I see the two names on paper, my brain can do the gymnastics and project the best possible version of that match. I can't do it for this one.
No,
there's I'm running all the scenarios in my brain. There's no scenario here where this match is anything close to resembling good. Nope. It's just the clown car of bad guys coming out and Oleg Boltin getting screwed and, oh, they're hurting me. Referee, why can't you see any of this injustice? Like, that's how this is playing out.
Every time we do this show and we kind of give little scenarios of what could be and how they could go and how they could pivot, it winds up being what we are very accustomed to with House of Torture bullshit, interference. I mean, it's gotten to the point where they're not even like trying to hide it. It's just like bat you over the head, literally and figuratively, with a metal sheet to change a title. Why would this be any different? Don't give me, well, we can make a star with. Come on, stop, please. We're done. Evil's winning. Interference. House of Torture. New Never champion.
Sixth match, IWGP Tag Team Championships. Yuya Uemura and Shota Umino challenging the champions, Knockout Brothers, Oscar and Yuto Ice. Really excited for this. As I laid out earlier in the show, I thought the pair of singles matches they did to set the table were excellent. So I'm really looking forward to this one. In terms of outcome, honestly, I don't really mind who wins because I think there's a lot of promise and potential in both teams. I think the Yuya and Shota pairing could be a vehicle to some sort of heel turn because they set the precedent for that in the past with Shota tagging with Ren Narita. So I think there's some interesting things that they could do to sort of play into or possibly against fan expectations if they stick with that tag team. You know, you might be thinking, oh, is Shota going to turn on Yuya? Is Yuya going to turn on Shota? Or are they going to be best friends for ever and ever and ever? So I don't know. Like, there's so many interesting directions this could go in. Actively looking forward to World Tag League because these two teams are great. We got, Bishamon might be back in the picture. There's Taichi and Ishii who did tremendous work when they with their albeit short reign with the championship belt. So there's a lot of very good teams that are in play. And honestly, I don't think that there's a bad outcome here. I'm just looking forward to what I think is going to be a really good match and excited to see what happens in the future.
More of this, please. Right? We have 4 guys that are in the infancy of their careers, all at equal, maybe not equal, but comparable levels, making things feel fresh, making things feel at least not the same old, breathing life into tag belts, which desperately need it. Look, I'm either it's 1 or 1A of a match that I'm truly excited to see. It doesn't matter who wins in my eyes. You know what? Here's what I want. Do whatever you got to do to extend this. I got no problem with this being a little bit of a 6-month, 8-month, a continuous feud. And I haven't even seen a match yet. I'm that confident that this could be that good, where it's something that I would love to see, a little tag team feud with the guys that are looking to take it the next level. Let's not break up teams. Let's not do singles matches too soon. Stretch this out a little bit. Let's have some fun with it. It's one of the more exciting things that we got in the company. So more of this, please.
7th match is the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Yota Tsuji challenging the champion, Gabe Kidd. So this will be the 3rd match that they've had this year, and it does feel like diminishing returns at this point. I'm sure the match will be really good because they're both very talented young wrestlers, but the issue is that it's going to be compared against the outstanding match they had at New Beginning, where it really tapped into something that felt authentic, and that authenticity with Gabe Kidd has gone. So I'm sure he can still pull out a good match, but that suspension of disbelief where you really felt that this guy was ride or die with New Japan, and this was 2 young studs fighting for the future of the company, desperate to take the mantle and have the name, the line mark on their back. That's gone now, and it's just 2 guys having a match.
Right.
That's how it feels to me. Now, there is the interesting wrinkle here with the number of wrestlers who suddenly started talking about using the global title, the secondary title, as a ticket to challenge for the heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom. So the fact that so many wrestlers started talking about that at once has made me feel like it's some sort of company directive, that it may very well be something that they're doing. So I'm looking at this match and thinking the winner of this could well be in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom. And if you do believe that, then it's an absolute no-brainer that it's Yota Tsuji.
Yeah. What has me puzzled is the idea of them absorbing the two belts into one. Which seems very odd, being that the global championship is what, 2 years old, 3 years old. It never really had time to breathe on its own. It always felt a weird shoehorn. But if they do absorb that title into the heavyweight championship, isn't there still a void of some type of secondary title? Like, you're not going to graduate the Never title. You're not going to graduate the TV title. You're not going to, like you would still need to create a title, wouldn't you? Because it does feel like there is a void there. And that's not just from a person who feels like, okay, guys need things to do kind of perspective, but in a sense, does give things like if you made that belt important, you have yourself not only guys having a purpose, but you can also headline shows, as we saw with the Intercontinental title before. So it doesn't make much sense to me for them to absorb the title, even though the title is largely insignificant in a lot of people's eyes. So that,
I mean, they might not unify, they might not merge them. Like the guys challenging might just lose.
Have two,
keep that title.
I mean, maybe. Look, either way,
there's ways they can get around it, and it wouldn't be the weirdest and stupidest thing that New Japan have done this month, right? So I think, putting that to one side, like, do you think there's any chance that it's Gabe at that spot? And a secondary question, do you think Yota Tsuji would be a good option for the Wrestle Kingdom main event?
Yes, I do think he is your option. Like, I mean, I feel like it's got to be Takeshita and Tsuji main event. I would be shocked, absolutely shocked, if it's Gabe Kidd in that role. And I'll go so far as to say, even if Gabe wins this match, they'll find some other fucking way to get out of, they'll do some kind of hocus pocus magical booking to find a way to, like, to me, it has to be Tsuji and Takeshita. Now, if Gabe Kidd wins, I don't know. All bets are off. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some fucking three-way dance at the top again. I would not be surprised.
Gabe Kidd versus Konosuke Takeshita, main event of Wrestle Kingdom, and then after the match, Tony Khan comes down and raises both of their hands in the ring.
Yeah. Where does this leave Zach? May I ask?
Okay, yeah. So we'll come on to that when we talk about the main event. But just one more question, if you'll indulge me, Damon.
Yes, I can.
So you believe that this is the route for Yota Tsuji to get into the main event at Wrestle Kingdom, right?
I do.
Why not just have him with the G1?
Well, it's a good question. You have a King of Pro Wrestling main event that hasn't sold out between two guys that, one guy that fans are kind of lukewarm on because they don't feel a full-time commitment, and another guy who, while very good and I love him, isn't going to be a guy that excites the home turf crowd. That's the only logical reason I can give you, is that they needed to have a main event for this fucking show. That's the best I can give you.
So let's then use that to segue into the main event, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Champion Zack Sabre Jr. against the Grade 1 Climax winner, Konosuke Takeshita. I was been very much wait and see about the Takeshita thing. I was very enthusiastic about it to start with. I thought he could fix a lot of problems with New Japan, given the right parameters with his contract, the number of dates he's available to work, and the way that he's presented. So we've had issues with the presentation, the way that he started off in a role that I think suited him, which was the cocky prick outsider saying, you know, I'm coming in as an AEW wrestler, DDT wrestler, and I'm going to beat all your favorites easily because I'm better than everyone. And that worked. I think fans were into that. But then that sort of took a hard pivot during the middle of the G1 to then he became sympathetic babyface, working from beneath and wanting to unite the pro wrestling world, which felt square peg in a round hole.
No.
He's not a draw, demonstrably not a draw. Like, he couldn't even get a decent house in his hometown during the G1 Climax. So that's off the table. I thought that, you know, presenting him the right way, he might come across as a star and might do numbers for New Japan, but that's proved not to be the case. I don't think the parameters of this split contract thing, the dual contract with New Japan and AEW, is at all favourable to New Japan. I was in wait and see mode. I wanted to see what it looked like post G1. Not a single appearance for the G1 Climax winner. So it's been a full 2 months, and we've not had a peep from him. Not even
a video package. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And the champions had to carry on feuding with House of Torture because you can't find Takeshita with a search party. And I don't think he's been a better wrestler this year than Zack Sabre Jr. I think Zack outperformed him in the G1. So we're looking at a guy who the fans have not really taken to.
Right.
He's not selling tickets. Has been presented in a weird way. Is barely here. And is not blowing away everyone in terms of match quality in the way that we'd hoped. And has left me thinking,
what's the point?
Why should he win this match?
Right.
What is the benefit in having Konosuke Takeshita as the defending champion in Wrestle Kingdom over Zack Sabre Jr. going into Wrestle Kingdom as the defending champion? So
but there are people online, Joel, that'll tell you as they adjust their nose ring, yeah, but it'll be on AEW television and the eyeballs that it'll get.
Well, I know you're being facetious, but there is a TV element to it, which is the fact that the Wrestle Kingdom is being broadcast on TV Asahi. And I recall seeing something somewhere that they are quite high on Takeshita. They like him. So that's not to be discounted. I mean, that could be the decisive element in all this, that TV Asahi wants Takeshita in the Wrestle Kingdom main event. So that's why he's front and center and winning. But all those other things I've mentioned, to me, I'd rather have Zack Sabre Jr. retaining the belt and going into Wrestle Kingdom defending the championship against Yota Tsuji, because to me, that's a better story. Where that's the redemption for Yota Tsuji. So he lost the only time that they've wrestled each other in a singles match post Tsuji's excursion was the G1 final last year, where Tsuji came agonizingly close, and it was a great match. A lot of people's favorite match of the year. It was right up there for me. And it would be a tremendous story for him to claw his way back and get a second crack at Zack Sabre Jr. on the biggest stage imaginable. And it would be, I think, a bold and correct decision to finally pull the trigger on one of your young homegrown talents on this huge show that's going to have all these eyeballs on it, from the Tanahashi retirement, the Aaron Wolf debut match, and TV Asahi, and possibly a sellout crowd, and all this stuff, to then crown one of your own guys, one of your dojo guys, and say, this is the star of the company now, this is the ace. But I don't have confidence that that's what they're going to do.
And here's the thing too, like, wouldn't you, if that was your plan, like, you have November, the rest of October, November, and December to get that thought process and get that feeling into fans' eyes and brains and hearts and souls. Like, this kind of dials back to the question, why not just have Suji win G1? It feels like it is such a winding road to get to what would logically be your answer come January 5th. And it feels like all that has to occur, Joel. And while the matches themselves don't necessarily take a lot of time, there is something to be said about the build toward that. Again, we've resigned to the fact
there will be no build because he's tied up doing stuff with Okada on AEW, and that's going to last until the end of the year.
Yeah. This show is built on Wolf Tanahashi, and the title match is secondary. Everything that you laid out makes perfect sense, but there is a very large part of me that's like, this is you're wasting that energy and that focus and that passion by what feels like, and they didn't have to, by shoehorning this in. You're right. There is going to be no build. And whatever build is there is going to be, honestly, less than going into January 4th because of all of the elements that you said. You're right. Look, there was not one person that was more of a supporter of the idea of him leading New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I always put a little asterisk on it of, hey, if he's committed and the company is committed, it doesn't feel like that's the case. It just doesn't. Again, he can win the title at King of Pro Wrestling and defend it at the Dome, but at the end of the day, for all of our praise and all of our love of what New Japan Pro Wrestling used to be able to accomplish, truth be told, they weren't always really great at building main events. And we can go through the fucking laundry list, but there's been plenty of times where we've been on this very show and been like, my God, this is your main event. What are you doing? Why is that person saying what they're saying? And why, there's no hype. And the matches are left to speak for themselves. And I feel like this is another example of that.
Remember the build to the Sonata Naito match where Sonata just refused to cut any promos?
Right.
And basically said, if I say anything against Naito, he's just going to rinse me because he's much cleverer than I am. So I'm just not going to say anything. Right. And they just did no build to the main event.
I mean, remember Tanahashi and Omega? And how crazy that was. And truth be told, even Omega and Okada probably wasn't the greatest of all time either. It was decent, but it was the matches that fucking made up for all of the missteps. So look, I have no confidence that they even consider it, let alone are going to have a roadmap to help hype for this match. The proof is in the pudding. They aren't that great at doing that anyway. And I think this is going to be even worse because you're going to have an absentee parent right now.
That's what I'm scared of, because one of two things is going to happen, right? Here are the possibilities. So he is on a collision course with Okada in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So he is either going to lose to Okada as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion,
right?
Or he beats Okada and goes into Wrestle Kingdom holding an AEW title, which then removes any doubt whether or not he's going to win or lose the match, because there's no way he's staring at the lights if he's holding a significant AEW championship.
Right.
So that is my fear, that come the end of January 4th, when that Wrestle Kingdom show wraps up, it's Konosuke Takeshita in the ring holding the IWGP title and maybe some AEW titles, and then he fucks off and we don't see him for another 4 months.
How did we get here? How the fuck did we get here? Look, I truly, honestly, deep down in the bottom pits of my heart, I truly believe that Yota Tsuji is winning this title, and it's happening at Wrestle Kingdom, because all the scenarios that you laid out don't really bode well for a New Japan Pro Wrestling product.
Right, the only way that scenario makes sense is if it's against Zack, not Takeshita. Because he's either beating an AEW champion at Wrestle Kingdom, which isn't happening, or Takeshita would have lost an AEW match as IWGP World Champion, which is not ideal.
Right. Can I ask you, do you hear that? Did you hear that rumbling? It sounded like a fucking jet was landing in my driveway. My goodness gracious. We are in a flight path, but geez Louise. I hear you loud and clear, brother. I really do.
Should be Zack winning this match.
Give me a percentage that you feel Zack's winning this.
Again, we're into should versus will. Yeah.
I think it's less than 50%.
Yeah.
I'll say like
I agree.
40%, 30%.
Yeah.
I'm probably in that world. And here's the thing. They might just stick their fucking fingers in their ears and just be like, la, la, la. Like everything that you said makes perfect sense, Joe. And a logical, solid pro wrestling fan could fucking book that in their sleep. That doesn't mean New Japan Pro Wrestling gives a single solitary fuck.
No. All right. Like I've been on this podcast, it feels like hundreds of times this year, laying out very clear scenarios why X shouldn't happen.
Right.
And then it happens anyway.
X happens all the time. All right. Look, I think Takeshita wins this title at King of Pro Wrestling, beats Zack. All the scenarios that you laid out, it makes much more sense for Zack to win. And Zack going into Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know.
He deserves it. He's been the best wrestler in the company this year.
He has, but what does that mean? Like how? Like is that something that that New Japan Pro Wrestling goes out of the way to reward? He doesn't draw.
Neither does Takeshita.
Well,
my point is, it doesn't matter that he doesn't draw because Wrestle Kingdom's going to probably sell out anyway.
Well, right too.
It will have nothing to do with the main event.
Zack would be the smart move. I'm with you 1,000%.
Like, if you're going to have a 40K house anyway, regardless of what you book in the main event, at least do it with two of your full-time wrestlers.
Yep.
Because just the nonsensical outcome of having all those lapsed fans or casual fans in the Tokyo Dome and all the people that will be watching on TV Asahi or New Japan World or whatever, tuning in thinking, you know what, I'm going to give this New Japan show a try because it's Tanahashi's retirement, it's Aaron Wolf's debut, and then they're enjoying the show, sticking around, watching the main event, seeing this big star, this handsome guy, great wrestler, Konosuke Takeshita, winning the main event and thinking, oh, okay, so this is the ace of New Japan now.
Well,
right. When am I going to next see him? Is he going to be on the next show? Nope. Is he going to be on the tour? Nope. Yeah. That would be madness to me. Like the absolute fundamental, most basic low bar that New Japan has to clear for Wrestle Kingdom 20 is making fans want to tune into the next show.
Yeah.
And if the guy who's winning, if your world champion who wins in the main event is not there, then what's the point?
Right. Do you feel like this Wrestle Kingdom, I'll pose it two ways. Should this Wrestle Kingdom be an absolute hard reset where Sushi is your champion, Aaron Wolf makes a great splash, and we are going full steam ahead with the quote end quote kids of this company, and then I'll follow that up with, do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely should be. It should be.
It has to
basically be a 4 hour long
reset.
advertisement for that new generation.
Yeah,
just showcasing, just picking 8 of the top young guys that you're going to build the company around for the next 5 years and putting them each in spots that are going to showcase the very best things that they can do to try to get people excited to want to see more of them. That's what it should be. But it won't.
They won't. Nope. This will be pop the house, what's our gate? Okay.
What's Tony telling us to do? What's TV Asahi telling us to do?
Right.
What does Goto want to do? What does Despy want to do? What do all the big quote unquote stars want to do? Let's do what they want to do so we don't piss them off. Let's just try not to piss off all the different masters that we feel we're accountable to. And oh no, the show's rubbish. Oh, all the fans have gone.
Yeah. How much money did we make? Look. I don't want to be like political, bullhorn.
God, you're not going to start talking about Charlie Kirk again, are you?
I don't even know who that is. I know he died. This is dare I say, in our modern New Japan Pro Wrestling time, the most important Wrestle Kingdom.
This is life or death. This is make or break for the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I cannot understate that.
Yeah.
No, or overstate that. Which I don't know which one I mean to apply to that. I cannot overstate that enough.
I'm with you. I'm in the boat, man. Like, they have to hit a home run here, and the problem is that they don't have a lineup to hit home runs. Let me take that back. They got a lineup to hit home runs. Their manager wants to bunt in the ninth inning with two men on. So Phillies fans will get that analogy. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Like, we don't have a clue. We have the talent. We don't have a clue. Is what the problem is. All right. Well, there you go. That put you in a better mood, Eric, listeners.
Yeah, see you next week.
Hi, I'm Case Lowe, co-host of the Open the Voice Gate podcast. The one question I'm constantly asked when it comes to Dragon Gate is, how do I get into the promotion? Well, stop asking and start listening to the Open the Voice Gate podcast, released every Wednesday on the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network. For exclusive news and show reviews, look no further than the leader in Dragon Gate coverage, Open the Voice Gate.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-star match game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.